What's good, everybody? Welcome back once again to the First Down Saints YouTube channel. Another pathetic, awful, disgraceful, terrible, horrendous performance by the offense this week, whatever you want to call it. Our offense is simply offensive. It was nasty. It was ugly. I put together some clips as usual. It is not pretty, but let's get into it. All right, first play I want to take a look at here. This is on the first drive of the game, and this is on a 3rd and 1, okay? And the Saints are going to run kind of like an inverted smash route. You're going to have this guy run a corner, and then Taysom down here run a hitch, okay? And you're going to see this hitch at the top of Derek Carr's drop. It's open. I mean, 1, 2, 3 step drop. Hit that hitch right now. That is open for a first down, right? I mean, that's open. But instead, Carr tries to go outside the numbers to Shaheed at the bottom of the screen and, throws a pass that just had no chance of being completed. So again, just for some reason, Carr takes, passes up on the easy option underneath. And mind you, again, it's 3rd and 1, right? You don't need a million yards. But instead of taking that easy completion underneath the hill, we throw an incompletion to Shaheed at the bottom of the screen. Now, lucky for the Saints, the very next play after this, they did go for it on 4th and 1, and Taysom ended up picking up the first. And this play right here was just an absolute abomination. This might be a top 5 worst play calls I've ever seen as a Saints fan. And, it's 2nd and 5. We're in the red zone. And then you do this and you lose 7 yards. Okay? And it's not even the play itself. The play, you want to get cute sometimes. I get it. But it's the personnel, right? This play is you're going to have Taysom Hill taking the snap. He's going to hand the ball off to Derek Carr. And then Derek Carr is going to hand it off to Kamara on kind of like a reverse, right? But the thing is, for this play to work, the defense has to bite on the ball going this way. But the problem is, that's Derek freaking Carr. That is Derek Carr. What defense is going to bite on a Derek Carr getting a handoff and running this way? Like, this is just, it's stupid. It is completely stupid. Like, check it out. Let's see who reacts to Derek Carr getting the ball. Absolutely nobody. Oh, actually, this idiot does. But literally nobody else believes that Derek Carr is going to run that ball down there. And he ends up pitches it to Kamara. And like I said, a loss of 7 yards. And now all of a sudden you go from 2nd and 5 in the red zone to 3rd and extra long from the 30-yard line. It's just ridiculous. Here's another good look at it. I mean, come on. Like, what? This isn't Pee-wee football, Pete Carmichael. Nobody believes Derek Carr is going to run that way. And the only way this play works is if the defense bites on it and some of these guys get to flowing. But it just doesn't happen because that is Derek freaking Carr. Like, come on, man. What are we doing? And then after that abomination of a play, you're left in 3rd and 14. And, they're going to blitz Carr on this play. Nobody picks it up. And, Carr just hits Taysom down at the bottom of the screen for, a couple yards. It has no chance of getting a first down. And that right there, folks, is how you stall out an offense. All right, this is on a 1st and 10, and this whole play right here is designed to get the ball to Michael Thomas, right? You're going to have Olave just running a streak, and then Michael Thomas coming up and running this deep end for sort of like a dagger concept. And again, like, this is a miss to me from Carr, right? It's a tough throw to make, but you're getting paid $40 million a year. Get that ball up, right? The placement is good. As far as, away from these two defenders, splitting these two defenders. But it's just like you can't skip that throw. And you'll see it from this angle right here, right? Again, like, Carr does a nice job of fitting it in there between the defenders. But if this ball is just a little higher, Michael Thomas catches that. I mean, he almost caught it off the ground. But, and again, I understand this is a tough throw to make. But we're paying this guy a lot of freaking money. We have to make those throws. Just get the ball up, and that's a completion. And then this is on a 3rd down and 9, again in the first quarter, and the Bucs are clearly going to be in man defense. And it's pretty clear right after the snap, Carr's going to be looking for Rashid Shaheed on this kind of deep corner, but the Bucs are going to run a game on their defensive line, and James Hurst isn't able to pick it up, so Carr just doesn't have enough time to hit that. You can see right there, that's going to be pretty open from Shaheed. But again, Carr is flushed out of the pocket, is able to hit the fullback, but, he doesn't catch the ball. It is what it is. Also on this play, he had Michael Thomas right there breaking over the middle, but he just wasn't looking that way. He expected Shaheed to get open, and he does, but again, just the time wasn't there. And then here's the end zone view of that play. And again, Vita Vea is just going to come this way, and then this guy is going to loop around him. And Eric McCoy actually does a nice job of passing Vea off to James Hurst, but James Hurst just wasn't really ready for it and couldn't absorb it, and ends up getting beat pretty badly. And we see what happens next. And here's where things get really ugly for me, right? 3rd down and 7, second quarter. I mean, we're going to run double fades at the bottom of your screen. One of those to being Michael Thomas, who, isn't the fastest guy in the world, obviously. But, we got Rashid Shaheed down there who is fast, but this was just really good coverage from the Bucs. But again, 3rd and 7, and what we're calling is double fade routes. And what tells me, Carr was going to throw this all along, because check out Chris Olave, right? He's going to come in quick motion. But this guy never even looks at the quarterback for the ball, right? I mean, look at Olave. The whole time, he knows where the ball is going. His eyes are down here where Carr throws the ball. So, I mean, that tells me Carr was throwing that no matter what. That was the concept Pete called. I mean, I just don't get it. It's terrible. I mean, it's just awful. And the only other route on the field is, a 500-year-old Jimmy Graham, on a shallow crosser underneath. That was, covered pretty well. So again, just lack of creativity, just terrible play calling. All right, next play, another 3rd down and 4. And what are we going to have? We're going to have Chris Olave running this deep kind of curl route where he's just going to sit right here in the zone. We're going to have Taysom running a wheel route up the sideline. And we're going to have Rashid Shaheed on a little shallow crosser. And then Mike down here is going to run a fade, which, yeah, you know how I feel about that one. So go ahead and press play here. And you can see Carr wants to go to Olave, right? He wants to hit Olave, but this defender right here, right? He's not sure he can fit that ball over him. Some quarterbacks will try it. Carr decided not to, which is fine. Avoid the turnover when you can. But one thing I will say is, Taysom at the top of the screen, he comes open on that wheel route eventually, right? It does take a while to develop. You can see Carr has to take a few hitches in the pocket. And the Bucs do send pressure, right? But it's picked up nicely by Kamara, and he has time, right? And, this one's a hard one because in a perfect world, I would say once Carr got off Olave, he could see that this safety or cornerback down here also kind of bites down on him. And that's when he could hit Taysom Hill right there at the top of the screen, right? Maybe would have been a touchdown. But again, this is a tough one. I mean, but I feel like once you decide, you're not going to be able to make that throw there, check this guy to see what he does. If he bites down Olave up here, hit Taysom. I mean, you have the time in the pocket, but, you can't really fault Carr for having happy feet with, how the offensive line has played this season. So, not too bad of a miss, but could have been a big play that, didn't occur. And then here's the end zone shot of it. Bucs are going to send 5. AK does a nice job of stepping up and taking on that safety. And, the protection lasts, holds up for as long as you can, realistically ask it to. So Carr's either got to throw that one away or scramble, do something, but don't take that unnecessary sack. All right, 1st and 15 here, and this one is just a simple miss by Carr, in my opinion. Now, obviously, play action pass here. They're trying to take a shot to Chris Olave down the middle, but the Bucs are in a 3-high look, right? So 3 defenders, middle of the field closed. That essentially takes this play away, right? So as soon as Carr sees that middle of the field safety stay there, he has to get to his next option. And to me, Rashid Shaheed right here breaks wide open on this outbreaking route. So, I mean, once you see, if you're Carr, once you see that safety stay in the middle, get to the next look, right? You have your second option here, which is a nice high-low, right? You got your Alvin Kamara down here in the flat, taking this defender, sucking this guy down. And then, Rashid Shaheed is open up here. I don't understand why we're not throwing that ball. He's got the arm strength to do it. Right now is when his decision needs to be made up. Okay, that safety is back there. Let me get to the next one. And he kind of just dances around and, goes down. Now, they were bailed out by a face mask, I believe, on this play, so it'll be mostly forgotten about. But, again, just a huge missed opportunity on offense. All right, next one to look at here. This one's actually a little pitch to Kamara. I guess it counts as a pass other than a run. But again, another just negative play. And to me, You got all these guys on the play side, they're blocking down, right? So that's going to leave this guy unblocked. So that tells me either Jimmy Graham or Tony Jones Jr., is responsible for this guy. Because if you watch the play develop, they end up blocking the same guy right here, down the field. But you got 4 Buccaneers, in pursuit of AK. So to me, I think Graham probably has to seal this guy off and then let Tony Jones Jr. be the lead block. But again, like even if that, works out, I still don't think you have a positive play because you got these 2 guys just bearing down on it. Just another dumb play, to be honest. All right, so this is on 2nd and 16, and as much as I talk about Pete and how bad his play calling is, this was actually a nice call against the defense given. So the Buccaneers are going to be in cover 2 zone, right? Got your 2 deep and your cloud defender out here. And the play that the Saints run is Michael Thomas here is going to run kind of a vertical stopping route, right? And that's going to occupy this safety and kind of keep him from getting width out here, right? So we're going to have, like I said, Michael Thomas on that vertical stopping route. We're going to have Chris Olave in motion. He's going to end up running up the sideline. And then Tony Jones Jr. in the flat here. So let me go ahead and press play. And you can see Michael Thomas, right? This safety has eyes on Michael Thomas because he's vertical, right? And this safety can't let anything get past him. But at the same time, we got Olave running up the sidelines. And this defender right here is responsible for anything vertical until there is a threat to the flat. So right now, he can carry Olave. But eventually, you'll see Tony Jones Jr. right there leak into the flat. So that causes this cornerback to bite down on that, which in turn leaves Chris Olave up the sideline wide open. But Derek Carr just gives a terrible, terrible throw for, again, another missed opportunity on an offense that needs these plays badly. I mean, that is just, I don't get this one. I mean, is it the shoulder? They said it wouldn't affect his throwing power, but to me, that's bad. That's like a 2020 Drew Brees throw. So again, just another missed opportunity. The one time Pete Carmichael's calls the perfect play, the Saints can't execute it. So that leaves us at 3rd and 16, the very next play, and the Bucs are going to be middle of the field closed again, and they end up coming out in cover 3, post snap. And this was on the deep shot attempt to Olave, and the fact that this was almost completed is kind of nuts, right? It just shows that, the speed of Olave to get over the top of those 3 deep guys and, the arm strength from Derek Carr to get the ball there, although a couple inches in front of him, it's a touchdown. But again, this tells me, there's not an arm strength issue with Carr, so that previous play was just a terrible miss. But nonetheless, again, almost completed, and you can see Carr kind of, pump fake right there. I think what he's trying to do is he's trying to get this safety to bite down on this route from Michael Thomas right here, so that would in turn leave this open for Olave back there. But the safety does a nice job of not really biting on it, but he still gets beat deep anyway, the speed. So, this just sums it up for the offense, right? You got a big play. It probably shouldn't have worked, but it kind of did work. But then it turns out, it's a couple inches short from a completed pass on a long touchdown. And again, right, keeping on the theme of things just not going right, this is Taysom Hill in the game, and they're going to let him, or at least attempt to let him throw the ball here. And he's going to have people open, right? He's going to have probably Kirkwood right here, if I would guess is who he would throw it to. Maybe he could have fit it in right here is that Jimmy Graham? He had his choice, but the right guard, James Hurst, who was absolutely dreadful in this game, gets beat easily. But again, but if he has a chance to throw it, he's going to rip that in, and that's going to be a huge completion. He probably could have even thrown it down here to this guy, Bowden, I think that is. But like I said, Hurst gets beat pretty badly, and Taysom has to scramble around like a pinball. And here it is from the end zone view. You can kind of see 74 there just get thrown out of the way. And, yeah. All right, 3rd and 10 here. And, again, just a piss-poor play call, in my opinion. Like I said, it's 3rd down and 10. We throw well behind the sticks in a game that's, about to be the 4th quarter, and it's 14-3. I mean, this is just bad bad football, right? We have play call. Okay. Chris Olave is going to run a fade down here. Rashid Shaheed is going to run a fade down here. Kamara is going to run this little stopping route. And then Michael Thomas is going to be over the middle. And that's it. I mean, what do you see there that's scheming somebody open? Right? Like, what about this is going to get somebody open on 3rd and 10 and a crucial 3rd and 10 towards the end of the game when you're down multiple scores? All right, you got Michael Thomas right here over the middle, but you got this guy on him, and you got this guy on him as well. Like, because there's nothing to take this guy away, right? There's nothing, and then you got 2 guys closing in on AK. It's just bad. Like, I don't understand what Pete Carmichael is expecting to happen here. I mean, Carr went to the right person here because he's the only person open, even though it was, several yards short of the sticks. It's just a lack of creativity week in and week out. All right, 1st and 10 in the 4th quarter. As you can see there, the score is 17-6, and this play ends up getting positive yards, but it's something about it. It's like, why are we not throwing to our reads? Carr, his 1st and 2nd reads are open on this play, and for some reason he just passes by it. Like, check it. Look at Carr's eyes on this, okay? I'm going to go slow-mo. Michael Thomas, he looks at Michael Thomas first. Check it out, okay? Okay, that's open. You can throw that. Put the ball out here. There's nobody out here but Mike. Okay, he passes up on that. Whatever. That's cool. Right? So he looks back over the middle. Jimmy Graham. Okay. That's open too. That's open too. But instead, he gets to his 3rd read and tosses it to the fullback out there, which again gets positive yards, so you can't complain too much. But I'm just confused. Like, why are we passing up our reads? I mean, Mike maybe could have got a few extra yards after the catch there. Hit Jimmy right there. But we come back to our final read right there and hit him, which is fine, which is cool. But, if there was pressure on this play, it could have been a sack. But the protection, thank God, held up, and he was able to get the ball off at the end. All right, 1st and 10 in the 4th quarter. The Saints are going to be running 4 verts, right? Everybody's just running vertical routes. And it's actually the perfect play call against the Bucs here because they're going to be in cover 3. And the weakness in cover 3 is those seam routes, right? And you're going to see the slot receiver right here, Shaheed, is actually going to be open. But the Bucs blitz and Alvin Kamara, as you can see right there, isn't able to pick it up, and that causes Carr to scramble and be late on the throw, and it's almost picked off. So, when it rains, it pours. Like I said earlier, when the perfect play call is when the play call is actually competent by Pete Carmichael, something else goes wrong. So it's basically your classic case of if it's not one thing, it's another. I mean, I've seen AK make that block 100 million times, and this time he misses it, right? And this is on a 2nd and 6 call. And, I mean, this is just, again, check out the routes on this. We got a guy in the flat, guy out here, right here. Where is everybody at? Is this really what we're doing? I mean, Carr is luckily able to get this to Kamara, and luckily that's AK because he bails you out once again. He bails out a bad play call. I mean, this is just what do you expect to be open here? That's probably should have been a flag right here, but again, there's nobody. There's nobody. Nobody. Everything is to the sidelines and covered. Like, you can't expect this to work. I don't understand it, man. I don't understand what we're doing. Next one, 1st and 10. It is the 4th quarter, as you can see there. Score is 17-6. This play I don't understand for a multitude of reasons. I mean, so first of all, we got, again, vertical route. Surprise, surprise. You got Rashid Shaheed, who's kind of going to sell this inside and break back out to the corner here. And, Graham's going to run vertical. But with that being said, we have all of these vertical routes on the field. Yeah, we're running a 3-step drop for Carr, right? So check out Carr's drop. 1, 2, 3. And typically 3-step drops, right? This is reserved for short to intermediate passes. Well, none of the routes on the field scream short to intermediate to me. I mean, I don't know about you guys. The only way this makes sense is if this play was going to Kamara the whole time, right? Like, and that would be pretty pathetic if that was the case. I mean, maybe we're just running all clear outs to get Kamara the ball, but again, like, we're in the fourth quarter crunch time here, dude. Like, we need more than 3 yards. And, you can see, like, Rashid Shaheed actually is going to come open. Like, Carr can throw that to probably be a touchdown. You can see Whitehead here has his hand up. He's like, hey, push back. That could have been a touchdown, but, with a 3-step drop, like, the offensive linemen are expecting the ball to come out quick. And so they're not really going to get much depth on their drops, right? They're not going to drop way back here because the ball's going to come out quick. So, in turn, you got the pocket collapsing quick, and, he just dumps it off to AK. But this could be just a design for AK. But again, like I said, if that's the case, that's pretty pathetic. But like I'm saying again, like, here's the end zone view, and you can see, 3-step drop, and, like, if this was like a 5-stepper, then the offensive line would know we need to get more depth to set this pocket, to create a bigger pocket so Carr can maybe step up and hit Rashid Shaheed on that touchdown. But, I mean, you can see that just doesn't happen. I don't know. I don't know what's going on in Pete Carmichael's head. I really don't. And this next play is kind of like the same thing, right? 6-17, fourth quarter, 1st and 10. We're in scoring range, at least somewhat. Right? We go empty. And again, you're going to just have nothing but vertical routes down the field. And you're going to have Kamara kind of just wait here for the ball. And again, what are we doing? Is this really with the game on the line and us needing multiple scores quickly in the fourth quarter? This is what we're calling plays that gain nothing? I just don't get it, man. And this stuff continues to happen week after week after week with no change. All right, again, 3rd and 10. As you can see, we're still down 6-17. And this one, we're going to run the same tired concept again. Deep corner, flat. They've run it 1,000 times all game. It hasn't worked yet, but we're still going back to it for some reason. Up top, you got this clear out route from Shaheed. And, both Olave and Thomas are going to be wide open here. I don't know why Carr... he initially looks that way, right? Look, you can see him looking that way, but he comes off of it. Just, ends up trying to get it to AK, but just couldn't make the catch. But again, 3rd and 10, fourth quarter. I don't know about you guys, but that seems wide open to me. Any of them. Not this guy. He's the clear out, but Olave or Thomas. Right? But for some reason, Carr just continues to want to work this concept over here that hasn't worked all game. And, again, just more missed opportunities. This was a huge 3rd down. There is nobody. Look at that. There is nobody. You're telling me Chris Olave isn't getting that 1st down? He catches that. He probably has Shaheed blocking for him. But for whatever reason, Carr, and like I said, initially, check it out. He looks at him, right? He's looking that way. But he comes off of it way too soon. And that leaves you with a 4th down, and you got to kick a field goal. And then here we have 4th down, 3 minutes to go in the game. This essentially ended the game right here. I don't mind the play call, though. The play call is actually nice. The Bucs are going to be in cover 2 again. Michael Thomas is just going to run up the sidelines. And these two guys are kind of running like a scissor concept. So basically this play just puts these 3 defenders in a bind. And Carr is going to pick the open guy. But, the offensive line played well enough all game. But they decide right now that they want to poop the bed and end the game early. And here's the final shot of that. And Ramczyk over here just gets obliterated by Vita Vea. And that's a big man to try to absorb on the stunt there. But, you guys ever seen a dead body? So, yeah, this is just, I don't know, guys. Dennis Allen came out today and said he's not going to make a change midseason. So it looks like we're stuck with this type of play calling for the rest of the year. It sucks, but it is what it is. The sad thing is we'll all still tune in and watch anyway. But as usual, appreciate you guys watching. Till next time, peace.